Hey guys, Dakota here, and as you can see today by the video title, I am going to be going over arm wrestling progression and why you shouldn't get discouraged. Um, I've said this always, but I think the arm wrestling is a long run sport, and I think it's something that you need to always look ahead. I have a couple comparisons I want to make, but I want to cover something first. I want to cover, everyone thinks of progression as a linear line. And I think that with arm wrestling, although you always get better, there are some aspects that kind of cause you to stray away from your typical linear progression. Like injuries, you have, time off, you have being so sore and needing time off. You just things like that cause you to not always see the progression. And the big one that I want to cover with this is you got to remember, as you're getting better in this, everybody is getting better with you. So as you are climbing this line, this linear line that you're thinking of for progression, the person who you started arm wrestling, if they stay as committed as you, if they stay putting the work in, they're going to go up on that line the same as you. Obviously, there's going to be little tweaks. Maybe they take a week off, or maybe they get injured, or maybe you get injured, or maybe you train harder. And those things are where you actually start to really see progression when you're comparing. We're humans. We all compare. We all want to know that we're progressing more than someone. We want to know that we're doing better. And the reason I'm saying don't get discouraged is because I really think that sometimes you guys can get in this tunnel vision, especially when you're newer. I was there too. And you're just kind of focusing on, oh, I want to beat this person, or I want to do something to this person. And the fact of the matter is if you're not training harder than them, you're not going to get there. And it might take a long time to get there, especially if they're training really hard. So a lot of people fall into this trap and they go, oh, I haven't been able to beat this guy for however long. I'm not getting any better. And that's just not the case. And some things I want to remind you of if you ever feel like you're caught in this trap, or some things I think you can do to get out of this discouraged mindset, is to go arm wrestle people who you don't see all the time. Maybe you went to a club once when you started, you've been arm wrestling for a year or two, even 6 months. Try and get back to that club. Try and arm wrestle somebody that you remember arm wrestling right off the start, because what's going to happen is that's where you'll notice your progression. That's where you really notice when you are evolving. And it's okay to want to feel that evolution. The main reason you're doing this is if you want to be getting better is because you want to see the progress. And it's tough, you look at your hands every day, you look at your arms every day, you don't see the improvements as someone who hasn't seen you in 6 months will see. So again, guys, I really think you shouldn't get discouraged. And another thing I want to reiterate, that I've fallen into this trap myself, but I have to take a step back and remind myself, is you need to take a look at the people that you're arm wrestling and the people that maybe you're setting your goals to be better than. Now, me, for example, I've been arm wrestling for a long time. Not dialing in for a long time, but like since I was young and my dad was doing it, I've been arm wrestling. But I'm just about at 4 years where I've been all in committed, doing my weight training, doing the pulley works, doing table time. And I catch myself sometimes, and I have a good example. I was arm wrestling Kelly Leach yesterday, and he is a phenomenal arm wrestler. Him and Dustin both, I think they're great. But out of curiosity, I was like, hey, Kelly, how long have you been arm wrestling for? And he goes, oh, I started, he's like, well, it's been about 27 years. And it just, flipped a switch in my head. 27 years. I'm not even 27 years old. He's been arm wrestling longer than I've been alive. And he's someone who, when I always try to arm wrestle, I try and see progression. I try and go, oh, like, what holes can I find? Is there a chance I could beat this guy? And I think it's okay for me to think that way, but I also think I need to take a realistic step back and go, this guy's put in 27 years of work. I've put in 4. It is unrealistic for me to set the expectation that I need to be, getting close to beating this guy or pinning him. Like, he is putting in an immense amount of work. And in arm wrestling, hard work cannot be denied. So, yeah, guys, that's what I'm getting at. Take a realistic look at the goals you're setting for yourself and where you're at. And don't overextend yourself. It's okay to shoot for the moon. I think you always should. And I think it's okay at times when you have matches and stuff to be a little delusional and go, I think I can beat this guy. But I also think you need to have that realistic sense where you don't look too far ahead and discourage yourself and make yourself not want to progress. A lot of beginners, I've been going to clubs for a while, lots of clubs, new guys will come and they will quickly go. And it's like, oh man, like, he had some potential. He just didn't see it. So make sure you see the potential in yourself. Make sure you realistically understand who you're setting your goals against. And remember that this is a long run sport. A lot of these guys that you're probably losing to, if you're new off, they've probably been arm wrestling longer than you, or else they're gifted. Both of those are okay, but you need to take that with a grain of salt and look at it like the stock market. I know this is kind of a silly thing, but the stock market's not linear. You train, it'll go up, it'll go over, it'll go down, it'll go up. But at the end of the day, if you look at the S&P 500, year over year over year, you're always getting a little bit of return. And that's how arm wrestling works. Stay injury free, do the training, put the work in, and you will always see some return in the long run. And there's going to come a day, if you stay committed, where you're going to be like a Kelly Leach and you're going to say, I've been arm wrestling for 27 years. And, you're going to think back to when you started and go, wow, like I'm a lot better than I was. And don't take that away from yourself. Don't, like, you can't always be striving. You can always be striving for more, but you sometimes need to take a step back and be grateful for where you are and remember, the journey. Again, guys, that was a bit of a long rant. I thank you all for sticking around and watching. I really, really hope you guys have been enjoying the content. I've been having a lot of fun making it, and I'm going to keep pumping them out for you guys. It's been great. I hope you like, subscribe, tell a friend, and don't get discouraged on this journey. Be in it for the long run, and let's all get better at arm wrestling. I'll see you guys in the next video.